Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is, do the Clippers currently have the best duo in the NBA? So that's the topic I want to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Be on the lookout for our Dreamerspro Premium community, which we're working on, and also be on the lookout for Dreamerspro.com, which we're also working on as well. So anyway, let me get into this topic here, and I think it's a pretty interesting topic. Last season, when the Clippers acquired Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, I thought, to be quite honest with you, I thought that they were going to have the best duo in the NBA. I thought they were going to be the best tandem in the NBA. Some people gave the nod to LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Now, the reason why I thought the Clippers were going to be the best duo in the NBA was just because of how these guys' games mesh. I think Paul George and Kawhi Leonard have games. Their games they play off of each other perfectly, right? They're both not ball dominant. They both catch jump shooters. They both can play fantastic defense, so they can switch on to a lot of great offensive wings and guards. They could do that at a high level. They were not ball dominant. They didn't need a lot of dribbles to score. They were both great post players, so they will be able to play off of each other really well. So I thought that their games matched perfectly, to be quite honest with you, and I think they played the perfect two positions at the shooting guard and the small forward. So I thought they would be the perfect duo in the NBA. However, Paul George did not play up to the level that Kawhi Leonard did last season. If we go and check out his numbers here, which I have here. Let's look at Paul George's numbers just last season. Last season, he averaged 21.5 points per game. He shot 44% from the field, 41% from the three-point line, 87.5% from the free throw line. Got you 5.7 rebounds, 3.9 assists, and 1.4 steals, right? Some people, if you look at those numbers on his face, you say, oh, these are great numbers. They are. However, for a player of his caliber, they really weren't. He had a drop-off. Season prior, he scored 28 points per game. He shot 44% from the field. He shot 39% from the three-point line, 84% from the free throw line. Got you 8.2 rebounds, 4.1 assists, and 2.2 steals. Finished in the top 3 in MVP voting and Defensive Player of the Year. So last year, he had a drop-off, and that was even more so in the playoffs. In the playoffs, well, not really a drop-off in the playoffs. The numbers are pretty much the same as the regular season. In the playoffs, he scored 20 points per game, so it went down a little bit, his scoring per game. Field goal shooting went down again. They dropped to 39.8. So let's just say, to be nice, let's say 40%. He shot 33% from the three, 90% from the free throw line. He got 3.8 assists, 6.1 rebounds, and 1.5 steals. He did play good defense, I thought, but let's just say he underperformed in the playoffs, and that's really where, people like Anthony Davis, the duo of Anthony Davis and LeBron James were able to leapfrog them because they played well. LeBron played amazing in the playoffs last year, and Anthony Davis stepped up, and he even hit a game-winning buzzer beater shot in the Western Conference Finals. I think it was in that game too, against the Denver Nuggets. So those guys, they were playing at a high level, and PG didn't, and we all remember that Game 7 where Kawhi Leonard and Paul George underperformed. So at the end of that season, people had them pegged as the best duo in the NBA, and they played so, and they deserved that title to be considered the best duo in the NBA and they won the title. So that was fair. Now, in the offseason, Paul George said some things that I didn't like, got on some people's nerves, got under some people's skin with some of the comments that he was making. And, when he went on to some of these shows like the All Smoke podcast, he explained why he underperformed, given the fact that he had some work done on the shoulders. He had some shoulder surgery, wasn't able to train. And apparently training is a major part in these guys, in athletes' production season in, season out. I thought that, okay, at a certain point you get to a certain level where you're just good, and then it kind of, the muscle memory is already there. You put up tens of thousands of shots in your career that I figured that it's almost second nature to you. It's on automatic. But apparently training every off season really does play a role, and he said that. But at that point, it just kind of seemed like talk. Now, players like Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson that were interviewing him, they understood, because these guys are players, so they understood what he was saying. So going into the season, Paul George said he's going to have. He said he's on a revenge season, and thus far, PG has been playing out of his mind. Like, he's been playing out of his mind. If we look at his stats this season, he's averaging 24.7 points per game. So let's say 25 points per game. He's shooting 51% from the field, which is a career high. Then he's shooting 50% from the three, flat out 50% from the three. That is a career high, not even 40. He's part of the 50-50, and he's shooting 92% from the free throw line. So he's having a 50-50-90 season, which is astonishing. He's getting you 6.3 rebounds per game. He's having a career high with assists with 5.5 assists. So he's having a career year so far, and he's done this in 15 games. Now, if he's going to keep playing, performing at this level for the entirety of the season, remains to be seen. We have to see how he plays. We have a lot of games ahead of us. At least they have 70 games, so they have 55 games remaining for us to see that. So far, he's played 15. Let's see if he can keep it up for the remaining 55 games. Anyway, if you look at his his co-star in Kawhi Leonard is also having a good season. He's averaging 25.5 points per game. He's shooting 49.8% from the field. Let's say 50% from the field in 14 games. He's shooting 41.5% from the three. So he's basically having a 50-40, and he's shooting 89.7. So this guy's also kind of having a 50-40-90 season. To put that into context, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and these guys have only had all of the great shooters that you can think of. They've all had 150-40-90 season. The guy that's had multiple is Steve Nash, who's the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. So in a season, to have two of your top stars, your co-stars or whatever, your duo, for both of these guys to possibly finish a season having a 50-40-90 season individually together on the same team lets you know the type of season that these guys are having. And I think if they keep this up at the end of the season, I think there'll be no question in anybody's mind that this is the best duo in the NBA. For both of them to have 50-40-90 seasons, that's astonishing. Kawhi Leonard himself is also averaging a career high with 5.6 assists per game and getting 2.1 steals per game. Now listen, I think thus far Kawhi Leonard is one of the leading candidates for Defensive Player of the Year, in my opinion. I think he's one of the leading candidates for Defensive Player of the Year. The guy's he's been on a tear. He's been on a tear, and on both ends of the floor. He's shooting very efficiently, but also he's also like, what's the word? He's also playing some great defense. Just the other game, he had like 6 steals in that game. And if he keeps it up, he could win the Defensive Player of the Year, which he's perfectly capable of doing, given the fact that he's already done that twice before in his career. Another thing that I believe is causing this team to play this duo to play so well together is given the fact that they train together a lot. They're deliberate about their training. Last season they didn't do any of that. Now they have drills that they do before games together, just to run through some drills together. They train a lot together. They train together in the off season, and I think we're beginning to see that translate onto the court. And when they play together, you see they have a perfect synergy. You rarely see them have miscues, throwing errant passes to each other. They usually know where each other are. I saw a game the other day when Kawhi Leonard was at the top of the key and he was getting ready to make a move to drive to the basket, and immediately Paul George cut to go to the rim, and he hit him with an open shot and an easy bucket with a bunny at the rim. And I was just like, wow, like he knew what his teammate was going to do because he was able to anticipate it, and that comes from chemistry with playing with guys, but also being with guys just off the court as well. When you get to know people, you get close with them, you kind of understand them better. Now, some people are going to have some pushback with some of what I'm saying, and some people are going to say, no, listen, LeBron James and Anthony Davis are the best duo in the NBA, the best duo in the NBA right now. And for me, I disagree, because I think LeBron is holding up his end of the bargain. LeBron is playing amazingly well. He's averaging 24.5 points per game, shooting 48% from the field, almost 40% from the three, which is fantastic for him. He's shooting 72.5% from the free throw line, which is good for him. But he's getting you 7.8 rebounds, 7.8 assists, and almost a steal a game, right? So LeBron James is doing very well for his team, and he has his team in the top of the Western Conference. They have an identical record with the Clippers. However, his co-star is not playing up to the level of that he is. Anthony Davis has taken a step back. If we look at his productivity, there's no two ways to say it. Last season he averaged 26. This year he's averaging 21. His field goal shooting is pretty much the same, 50%, 52%. 3-point percentage has improved a bit. shooting 72% from the free throw line. That dipped almost 12% percentage points from last season when he shot 84.5% from the free throw line. He's getting you 9 rebounds, which is identical to what he got last season. He got 3.6 assists, pretty much identical to what he got last season, 3.2. He's getting you 1.2 steals and 1.9 blocks, identical numbers, but his offense is not where it needs to be. And if you look at the two of them, it's going to be hard. How can you say that this is the best duo currently if we're talking about playing right now after the numbers I just gave to you? Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are clearly, as a duo, playing better together than LeBron and AD. Just the other day, the biggest supporter of the Lakers in Shannon Sharp, he recently said, he was on TV talking about AD needs to be more aggressive. So when some people say that AD is the second, you can't be considered the second best player in the world, and people are talking about questioning whether or not you're aggressive or not. Like, I don't even know how you can have that conversation with a serious face. And I never entertained it. Some people have said, no, why are you coming down on AD? I said it before and I said it. I don't believe AD is that dude. I don't believe AD is that dude. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. Some people got upset with the fact that I said, I said that he rode the coattails of LeBron. Okay, maybe I was too harsh. I'll say it again. He rode the coattails of LeBron. Why am I saying this? Okay. Prior to Anthony Davis playing with LeBron James, what did he accomplish in the NBA? What did he accomplish in the NBA? That's the question you guys need to answer for me. Prior to LeBron playing with Anthony Davis, what did LeBron accomplish in his career? It's a very simple question. Like, it's nothing to get emotional about. It's nothing to get your panties up in a bunch about. It's very simple. LeBron is a 3-time champion before he met AD, multiple-time regular season MVP winner, multiple-time NBA Finals MVP winner. What are we talking about here? What's the question? What's the debate? What's the talk about? What is the back and forth about? LeBron was already considered the top 5 NBA player of all time before him and AD even stepped on the court together. Now, am I saying that LeBron could have won that title without Anthony Davis? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But AD can win a damn thing without LeBron at all, because he never did. Right? Now we're going to get into the whole thing of Kobe and Kobe and Shaq. Kobe couldn't win, but Kobe went on and won 2 titles without Shaq. Right? Shaq won 1 without Kobe. Kobe won 2. AD never won anything without LeBron. Look at his numbers this season. LeBron is 36 years old. He's 9 years older than AD, and he's playing better with more aggression. What are we talking about here? What is the thing about to get emotional about? I don't understand these guys that are getting emotional about this. Just go and look at the facts. What's it say? Secondly, let me just go off for a moment here. I'm a Kobe Bryant fan. I'm a Kobe fan. Like, Kobe's my favorite player of all time. Let me tell you something. Kobe Bryant carried that Lakers franchise after Shaq left. He embraced it. Kobe was mentally tough enough to carry that franchise. Mentally tough enough to carry. You can't lead the Lakers to championships and have the mentality that Anthony Davis has, where people are asking you to be it won't work. It's not for that organization. I used to see Jack Nicholson cuss out Dwight Howard. Cuss him out. Kobe, that's why Kobe said the player that's going to that can carry this organization, you don't even need to convince him to be here and none of this stuff. You just know. Think about it. Look at the players that have been responsible for Laker championships. LeBron, all-time great. Wants to compete, wants to beat you. Kobe, Shaq, Magic Johnson. Like, so what are we talking about? Any of you, can you put Anthony Davis in the same mental wavelength as these guys? We're not talking about skill. We're talking about your mentality, your aggressiveness. Can you put AD in that same category? You can't. It's not even who's going to do it? No one is going to do it. So when some people were getting upset, Anthony Davis is not the second best player in the world. He ain't better than Kawhi. He's not. He cannot lead a team to a championship. He never did. I've never seen him do it. I've never even seen him get his team to a conference finals. Is he a KD? Is that a question? Are we going to have that question? We're not. So listen, Anthony Davis, can he play better? Yes, he did it last season. But right now, he's not playing as good as he needs to be. Some people have made the point that, yes, Anthony Davis is more, they made the question if Anthony Davis is better than Giannis Antetokounmpo. Anthony Davis is more skilled than Giannis Antetokounmpo, no question about it. But he is nowhere near the plays with the aggression of Giannis Antetokounmpo. If Anthony Davis had the mentality of Giannis Antetokounmpo, he would be the most dangerous player in the NBA. He doesn't. He doesn't have that mentality. Your mind, how you approach your work matters. It's not just how skilled you are. Your disposition to the game makes a big difference. LeBron is not just good. He's good, yeah. But LeBron is determined. He's aggressive. He wants to win. Look, watch him play. You seen him now hitting threes and walking off and throwing. What do y'all think? Like, it's just, oh, he's just good? No, it's his mind. His mind plays a role. I don't believe Anthony Davis is that dude. I don't. Sorry, I don't see. I never saw it in him, so I don't see it now. I don't think he's that guy. Anyway, what I want to know from you guys is, do you think that Kawhi Leonard and PG are currently the best duo in the NBA? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comments section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the next video that we have coming up. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro. Wishing you guys an amazing day. Catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.